Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
I must be the greatest.
Let's get that done. I've been here before and I know what it takes. Hard work, dedication. ThaBoxingvoice.com. They were this TV best.
Win, lose, or draw, we coming to fight. Can't nobody take that away. We're coming to fight.
They do what they can, I do what I want.
When you look at how he throws that left hook, it starts out really low. We're going to see what kind of character he has.
And the lefts and rights by Maidana. And it's all Marcos Maidana hearing a lot of those punches off his shoulder.
I think anybody out there listening or anybody think that that's a dangerous deal to make. I think it's a perfect deal.
Can you be strong for 15 minutes? Can you? Listen, the concentration is leaving a little bit. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Some things about we got to deal with.
Good morning, TBV, and welcome back to another morning edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nesta Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. We are here to talk more heavyweight boxing. We got Joe Joyce versus Bermane Stiverne. It's signed, sealed, done, official. But we're asking you and them, what were they thinking when they made this fight? Can you make a case for Joe Joyce, Bermane Stiverne being a decent scrap on the undercard? Or is this simply a fight that we did not need? This is what we'll be discussing right here on TBV, hashtag TBV podcast, wherever hashtags are used. And you can call in the number to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline at 1-425-569-5241. Don't forget, it's Keith Thurman and Josecito Lopez Fight Week. Adam Wanaki, Gerald Washington, Claudio Marrero, King Tug, Chris Colbert, interviews up on TBV YouTube channel. Me and Ron putting in that work. New York City, East Side. Stand up. Let's go. It's the morning time. Who's with me?
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Windows count, 2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss, 2 to stand over.
Turn up.
Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
And I'm in.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes. Nah, I'm just fucking around. What's going on, everybody? Hey, we're back here with another one, Joe Joyce. Bermane Stirverne. Is this a good fight? Is this something that we want to see? Does this propel Joe Joyce to another level in the heavyweight division? All these questions will be asked, and hopefully we'll come up with the answers today. But let's move it on to somebody else.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I've been doing this. I ain't been up and fell off. I've been through the Lennox Lewis era, the Nassim Hamed era, the Sugar Shane Moses era, the Oscar De La Hoya era, Marquez Hunter era. I've been through all the eras, and I still been helped.
You do too much talking. The thing is this.
People want their subjective preference to be the objective reality.
HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
So the articles I read, Don King fears for Joe Joyce, heaven help him with Stiverne. Another one, Stiverne, Joe Joyce, I'll knock him out, then I'll KO Joshua. And Joe Joyce promises pain. Bermane Stiverne disrespected me. Look, these are titles of these two guys where we're very curious how the fight's going to come out. But what is the point of this fight? Is it going to get them a title shot? Are they going to get a better opportunity for the throne? We'll talk about it. Or is this just a weird mismatch, stay busy, or underestimated fight? We'll see.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of hyperbole so far about this fight, but I think there are a lot of different aspects to it. It's a bum-ass fight. It's a fight we don't need to answer that question, but I think the question we need to delve in within the confines of this show are what does it do for each man, both negative and positive? And I think there are some negatives and positives, so we'll get into those.
Well, let's introduce UK Zone. Rafi, good morning and afternoon to you.
Good morning to you. It's afternoon over here. Yes, yes, yes. Interesting matchup. I can see there's an obvious reason why Stiverne would have been a natural choice. And yeah, I've got some theories on this one. Let's get into it.
So Ron or Mike, right? You guys have some quotes that need to be read to at least, you know, try to understand the mindset of both of these men and their decision making.
Sure, I got some funny, interesting quotes. So for here, let's see. For me, it is a dream come true, but for Joyce, it would be a nightmare. I will knock out Joe Joyce and step over him to KO Anthony Joshua. I'm primed and ready. The real Bermane Stirverne will be there on February 23rd and will knock out Joe Joyce en route to regaining my heavyweight crown. So obviously that's from Bermane Stiverne.
Now look now, man. Hey, man. I know people want to laugh at Bermane, but the way he's talking, man, it sounds like he's really serious about this upcoming fight. And we seen Joe Joyce
talk like this before. Let's get the rest of the quotes because we've seen him just talk like this versus Wilder and then come in fat as fuck. So I don't really care. Yeah, talk is super cheap. I don't care. It's so cheap we giving it out for free. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Ron. What's Joe Joyce talking about?
Now, Joe Joyce said, I had respect for Bermane Stiverne. We sparred in Las Vegas. He said he took me to school in an interview, etc. It got ugly and it made this fight happen. I try to be respectful of him, but he's rude and was having none of it. He is a former world champion that has gone 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder, and I will give me a real challenge, but my engine and my power will be too much for him, a fact he should be aware of. Also, there's another quote that goes, I told my promoter, Don King from Bermane Stiverne, to get me any man on earth, and I will fight for the rights to prove myself to the world. Then the phone rings. It's Don. He tells me, Joe Joyce, a boxer with only 7 bouts, agrees to meet me? 7 bouts? 7 fights, and he has the audacity to box me. I have stopped Chris Arreola, Ray Austin, and then undefeated Kirsten Manswell, and a boxer with 7 fights wants to box me? I said it to Don, sign it, take it, grab it. I'm ready. 7 fights, and he wants to box me.
Jamaica, baby, stand up.
That's the Vern right there.
Now, he Jamaican, man. He Haitian.
Haiti. Comes from Haiti, Mike. Haiti.
Yo,
Haiti, man. Haiti.
My bad, man.
So Don King says this in response to all this. I recall when I came to the UK with Oliver McCall, and he was given no chance against Lennox Lewis. Then the underdog became the top dog when Oliver KO'd the previously unbeaten champ, and we went home with the title. History will repeat itself on February 23rd when Bermane sends another undefeated Englishman to defeat.
Liar.
I don't know why he brought that up, but yeah, this is crazy. I mean, like, I've never heard so much bullshit about a fight that probably most people don't care about. I mean, first of all, I will say this. It is interesting for Joe Joyce based on the simple fact that he's getting a name that, Americans will recognize. He's getting a name on his resume, period. I think the only other fight he has was, man, I can't even remember who it was. It was Joe Hanks. There you go. And so I don't know. It doesn't offer the same sort of recognition that a Bermane Stiverne has. That said, what Bermane Stiverne are we going to get in the ring? Because the last time that we saw him out was in November of 2017 in a KO devastating loss to Deontay Wilder. So
I'm glad.
I don't know what we have left from him.
That's one thing that I am happy about. I'm happy when fighters like take a knockout and they take time off. They don't just rush back. They come back and get all the.
This ain't time, man. This was like a vacation, ain't it?
But he needed vacation time off. A step back though, Mike. You don't think he needed a fight in between?
Joe Joyce is there. He got 7 fights. He feels
exactly. Yo, I like that too. He do only got 7 fights. Like he ain't looking like Lomachenko or Rigondeaux.
Thank you.
No, that's true. That's true.
Stiverne is Joyce is making I believe a strategic move, and the strategic move is to fight a guy who last fought Wilder. So Stiverne's last fight was with Wilder. I think Joe Joyce's strategic move is to come in and take him out in similar fashion to the way Wilder done, and therefore draw some comparisons, early comparisons.
Well, the problem is this, though.
Let me ask you, since you're using that as your, I don't know, your talking point, do you think that he gets any positive feedback from getting the win, being as though that Stiverne was knocked out in his last fight and hasn't fought since then?
I think people will remember what Wilder did to Stiverne. Stiverne was fighting the world champion. If you're fighting the world champion, then presumably you have some legitimacy. So therefore, what Stiverne brings to the casual is some type of legitimacy. His last fight was with the world champion, and therefore, theoretically, he should be a credible opponent. If he wasn't a credible opponent, what was he doing fighting the world champion?
Are you accepting this fight? And that's for everybody on the panel. Do we accept this fight as a developmental fight, or whatever excuse you want to give yourself to swallow it?
I accept the fight as Joyce fighting a guy who theoretically must have been a top 10 because he was fighting the world champ. Was he not?
I accept the fight in a relative sense that it's important for Joe Joyce in his progression, because like y'all said, he only has 7 fights and he is fighting Stiverne. Like the point I was trying to make earlier was like, what kind of Stiverne are we going to see? If he's going to come back and fight Joe Joyce, and I get what Mike is saying, he's only got 7 fights, but still this fight has some magnitude to it. It has some importance to it. He's fighting Joe Joyce and he's been heralded in the heavyweight division in 7 fights. So he should have taken a fight where, you know, he headlines in his home state, his home country or whatever, an off the marquee fight that he could come back and then take something of this magnitude where he's getting a co-main event on a big stage. But he's jumping right into it. And so I accept it for Joe Joyce being a progression fight, but Stiverne's in a lose-lose situation, because if he loses, then obviously he just lost to a guy with 7 fights. And if he wins, then everybody's going to say, yeah, well, the guy had 7 fights. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a tough fight for him.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure that I would shit on Joe Joyce if he lost to Stiverne. I'll be like, yeah, you know, Stiverne stopped the undefeated, heavily touted UK prospect, you know, another UK hype job. So I don't know if he won't get any credit, especially, see, I don't think this Stiverne is perceived as an Adam Kownacki that won't get credit if he beats a Joe Joyce just yet. I think Stiverne is looked at like done, washed up. So if he wins, it's like comeback. It's like, oh shit, he's back on top. He knocked off. It's similar to like Luis Collazo taking out those 2 prospects, Brian Peralta and whoever else he just did in the welterweight division. And now Bob signed them to give him, you know, that big old Terrence Crawford fight.
Yeah, when I look at this, and you can box rec it, and I know box rec is not always like the say all be all, but Bermane's like really hard to find on his rankings. I'm like on the 4th page, and Joe Joyce is clearly on the 1st page. Joe Joyce is ranked 28. So this is obviously something that Joe Joyce is supposed to win. Like if I'm struggling to find Bermane Stiverne on,
well, they took him off because of inactivity. Yeah, after a year, they take him off.
Okay, so okay. In that case, then.
But he was longer. But he was inactive longer before the Wilder fight. Did they take him off then?
But he was the mandatory. And I don't know if
they took him off. I don't know if they take him off. He was still there. So why did they take him off now?
Well, this is box rec, not the WBC. You're confusing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. I was confusing. But with that being said,
carry on.
He's probably not going to get ranked in any sanctioning bodies then, right?
Nah, he shouldn't because of the inactivity. That's kind of universal. Box rec is different because they're doing points. They're not ranking.
Yep. So Joe Joyce is ranked number 5 in the WBA with people underneath him like Brian Jennings, Povetkin, Sergey Kuzman. I mean, there's tons of other people you could have fought to get to this. Takum, Charles Martin, I mean, I can name tons of other developmental fights. This is clearly more maybe showcased to a degree. And
if Stiverne wins this fight, I mean, I think that puts him like back in the mix with the not the
Well,
top
he
level.
says he wins, he gets a shot at Anthony Joshua.
No. I won't go that far, but it wouldn't make people like Big Baby, Dillian White look at him like, oh, he might be a viable opponent. He was a champion. He fought Wilder, and then he just come out of a big win off Joyce. So that makes him a more viable candidate if he beats Joe Joyce. But at the same time, I don't know if he's going to be able to beat. Well, I see Joe Joyce, man.
Where's Joyce ranked?
I don't.
Where's he ranked?
Joyce is 28 on BoxRec.
The biggest criticism,
okay, so if
hold on. The biggest criticism from Joe Joyce is I don't think that he's that good. I mean, he's okay, but I don't see like anything special in Joe Joyce. So I mean, Stiverne might really have a chance.
So if Stiverne beats Joyce, which I think is almost impossible, if Stiverne beats Joyce, then he takes his BoxRec record, or he gets in the top 100 or something. Yeah,
he should. Stiverne should, at least replace whatever ranking Joe Joyce is in.
Yeah, theoretically that would be the case. Theoretically, but if he's not ranked in the top 100 now, then he should get in the top 100 at least.
I'm pretty sure if he beats Joyce, he'll be right where Joyce is at, if not a little further along. That's kind of how it works. You can't beat a dude ranked 28 theoretically and go backwards.
And the only reason he's not in the top 100 right now is due to inactivity. Yeah.
I don't know if he like replaces Joe Joyce in terms of like what's the word? Like, like where Joe Joyce is at, where he's headed.
That dude would get comeback fighter of the year.
Stiverne?
Yes, well, come on.
Comeback fighter of the year. I don't know.
I'm not exaggerating here. The man was hospitalized and flattened his last fight, hasn't fought in about 12 months. He comebacks and defeats an undefeated, up-and-coming, highly touted UK prospect. Yeah. I think he is comeback. Name me
one more.
Here's what you do. That's my nomination for comeback fighter of the year. Who's comeback fighter of the year in your opinion for 2019 in just this 1 month?
Well, if you want to go on the month of it or whatever,
baby. Baby.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one too. I think beating Linares is better.
But he beat Linares, who lost to Vastito. Joe Joyce is undefeated. Stop your lies.
Dude,
but Joe Joyce hasn't beaten anybody of note. Like, you're crazy.
Knocked out 2 times before. So all of a sudden, Cano did something special? No.
Bro.
Stiverne's going to come out and beat. But you got to understand, Joe Joyce, like, what does he represent? Like, we don't know if he's a bust. We don't know what.
I'm gonna tell you what he represents. Mario loves being against whatever whatever side of the street I'm on, and I love it though. But look, this is what he represents. He represents that you woke up at 8 Central, I woke up at 9 Central to do a show on a 7-0 prospect. That's how much he fucking represents.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not saying that he's not highly touted. I'm not saying that there's a lot of hype behind him, but where's the first guy that beat David Price? Like, there are fighters all the time that are highly touted.
I'll answer that. The first guy to beat David Price got a Luis Ortiz fight. Plus, he got a rematch with David Price and made his name.
No. Okay, see, but
Tony Thompson is known now because he did what he did to David Price. You want to try another analogy?
No, well, first of all, Tony Thompson was, a decent name before that. But listen, the point is this. I'm not saying that Stiverne wouldn't get recognition, and I'm not saying he wouldn't get jumped up the rankings. All I'm saying is that you'd have to put it into perspective because to me, look, this is a better fight for Joe Joyce. He gets a name on his resume that was in there with Deontay Wilder. He can come in, and if he wins, it's a huge deal for him in his progression forward. Although I understand where Ron's coming from in terms of this being kind of like a hype fight for him, but I think Stiverne's in a lose-lose situation. I think you come in, you win, and it's like it doesn't do as much as beating somebody who's already been at your level. He's gonna jump up and down because you beat a prospect when he's been in the ring with champions. Like it's just a different road to me.
But Joe Joyce is ranked number 5 in the WBA. That would definitely catapult him high. If he stops this is heavyweight. I think if Stiverne knocks or beats Joe Joyce is by knockout. And Stiverne knocks out Joe Joyce, that is a very good win, because I don't think anyone in chat is excited for the fight because they're expecting the complete opposite, a devastating fashion of Joe Joyce beating up Stiverne, because that's the public opinion of Stiverne. Go ahead now.
I guess I can't even wrap my mind around it happening.
Good, because I'm going to give you history, so maybe it could repeat itself Saturday, or actually February 28th, right? So Vladimir Klitschko knocked out David Price. Tony Thompson. In Tony Thompson's next fight, he knocked out the undefeated 15-0 David Price. So again, just to put things into perspective, one is 7-0, one is 15-0, both undefeated, both heavily touted, both with the Olympic background, all the pedigree, blah, 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 blah. Okay, look what it did for Tony Thompson. Okay, look what it did for Tony Thompson. Tony Thompson was knocked out twice by Vlad. A win over an undefeated UK prospect brought him back into title contention, and he ended up getting Pulev shots. He ended up getting Luis Ortiz shots, Orlando Solis shots, Malik Scott shots. Like,
I just think that the heavyweight division is so much more congested now than it was back then. I mean, there are guys that have been waiting in line. Not to say that Stiverne,
right? You just mentioned
in there, but
names that are still here. Pulev is still here. Ortiz is still here, and Malik Scott kind of here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this?
Yeah,
is
but there was, but okay. Look,
no, you're saying that it wasn't congested. I'm showing you that those names still exist then and now. So how was it?
Okay, so you're telling me that Stiverne off this one win, what does he get?
If Tony Thompson, who had fucking,
I'm asking you what Stiverne would get. What do you think Stiverne would get?
I'm telling you, I'm using pass to answer your question. If Tony Thompson coming off the Vlad had colon issues, bruh. He had colon issues. Still beat fucking. Yeah, look, Google it. He had some.
I'm just saying, I don't know what that means.
Surgery. He had surgery. You got
colon cancer.
Yeah, he had some shit.
No, I get that. I don't know what it means to your argument with Stiverne. I don't get it.
Again, it made him relative to beat a prospect. Why I got to yell at this to get it through your head?
Stiverne gains from this fight because he beats a highly touted prospect.
Absolutely.
Joyce gains from this matchup because he beats
a former world
a former world champion who fought the current WBC champion twice.
I guess my only
man that went the distance.
Parties gained.
And the only one that went the distance with Wilder. So, like, there is some cachet for Joyce. Joyce is doing this for a reason.
No. Well, that's my point. I think that what I'm trying to say most of all is there's more for Joyce to gain than there is for Stiverne to gain. And maybe
I disagree, Mario.
Maybe I'm blinded by the fact that I think Joe Joyce is going to win, and I'm convinced of it. You know what I mean? I could be blinded by that fact.
So you're convinced of it. I'm convinced of it, to be honest. So that means if Stiverne beats the odds and
we have to give him credit,
then
for sure we give him credit.
Then all of a sudden he's back up in the game, so to speak, because everybody will want to take out Stiverne. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people are going to want to take out Stiverne.
Big Baby Miller's will call him out. Dylan White.
Luis Ortiz, Gerber, baby food eating ass will call out Stiverne after that win, bro. Come on.
Right about now.
Trainer, I was trying to get him on the show this morning because, we need to find out what's up with this ridiculous Christian Hammer fight as well.
Right about now, Stiverne will be a big target for a lot of the guys who are out of the top three. Everybody wants his scalp because the former world champion who fought the current WBC champion twice once took him to 12 rounds. So basically, he's going to look good on the poster. He's got a name recognition. He's going to encourage some people to go to the fight.
And that's a fair point from y'all's perceptive. I get that. That's a fair point. I guess my only thing is I don't know. I think he should do more. I don't want to see him thrown in the mix with, I don't listen. If I hear Stiverne's name, there for Joshua Wilder, Fury, Big Baby, Ortiz, any of those guys, to me, it's a wasted fight.
Yo, so I just want to put a little question out there to y'all. Since Mario doesn't like this Bermane Stiverne fight, What heavyweight made the smarter choice? My answer is Joe Joyce.
My answer is
Did Joe Joyce make the smarter choice in choosing Bermane Stiverne over Christian Hammer? Because that's who Luis Ortiz chose, and that name has absolutely zero cachet. He hasn't fought since December 2018. And
Price.
We don't know who the fuck he fought. No, he ain't beat no Price.
He did. He knocked Price out, then he lost to somebody.
Not in 2018, bro.
He beat Price, then he lost to somebody.
In 2018? Are we talking about the same person?
Christian Hammer beat Price, then he lost to somebody. I don't know.
My man, not in 2018.
Well, maybe it was 2016, and I'm saying he beat Price, then he lost.
But he's saying what he did last year.
I know, and we're saying what Stiverne did last year and what he hasn't done in a year. How is that relevant?
I was just giving the fans, like, if they didn't know who Christian Hammer was, he beat Price, then bam, okay.
What a better thing to say would have been is Tyson Fury beat him. That's a bigger name. That's easier for casual fans to associate with. If you must cut me off, you cut off fucking King. The bottom line is Hammer's a bum. No one knows him, and he has zero cachet. And Luis Ortiz made a poor choice where I think Bermane Stiverne is a better name. Regardless of the condition or the state that you think that heavyweight is in, it's gonna look better on his resume than Christian Hammer. Christian Hammer, I've never, ever heard of this dude except for what we just talked about, and we never get to see this dude except when we got to watch him losing to someone we know. So please.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Well,
this is a better fight for Joe.
That I know, so I'm just saying.
Oh, David fucking Price, the Amir Khan of the heavyweight division.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
He a midget. He a midget. He's a big dude.
I know why you keep saying it, because you want to give this Amir Khan some credit so the other one gets some credit. But neither one got
this guy right here. Okay.
This guy's crazy this morning.
I think you got upset because you didn't get the answers that you wanted to get from your boy yesterday. So it is what it is, man.
I don't even know what you talking about. The only thing I know is that Luis Collazo is fighting on ESPN in February.
Hey, everybody needs some money.
You smell?
Everybody needs some money. Everybody needs some money. Hey, what Keith say when you ask him about fighting Crawford next? Oh, you want me to fight him injured? You want me to fight him injured? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Do you smell what Bob is cooking?
I feel you, though. I feel you, man. Deflection. Deflection. He ain't want to answer that, y'all. He died that motherfucker, y'all. He died that. Matrix in this motherfucker. Go ahead, Mario.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I fully agree. I think that Stiverne's scalp on Joe Joyce is better. And even if you want to make an argument about what he's done, I don't know. I just think in 5 years, when we look back at these guys' resumes, you're going to say, oh, who did Joe Joyce beat? Oh, so-and-so, Bermane Stiverne. Christian Hammer, on the other hand, I don't know. I don't think that does anything. It doesn't propel him forward. I think Joe Joyce propels him forward.
Hammer. Y'all going to quit shitting on my guy, Christian Hammer. Have y'all seen his sister? Have y'all seen his sister? He got to be okay.
Look.
He cool with me.
At the end of the day, I think Mike was just trying to explain.
Disrespectful. You want to tell us stop shitting on his boxing skills so we could perv on his sister, huh? He's gonna find your ass.
Nigga perv. You said perv. Wow. This guy right here, boy. You got all kind of bad adjective, bro. Like that's a bad adjective, man.
Because I'm honest.
Why? Because I said she's good looking, so I'm a perv now.
I
think Mike was talking about her personality.
I mean, did you not undress her with your eyes?
I don't know where the relevant. You said
I'm
don't.
More respectful than that, brother.
You said don't disrespect the fighter.
Don't
look at his sister.
Hammer.
That's what you just did. Like, let me tell you why.
You guys
that was the exact quote, Ron. That was the exact quote.
You guys take everything so literally, man. So literally. I'm trying to have that comedic relief, but you guys are horrible.
I don't know why Ron ain't get approved.
I thought it was funny, Mike. I thought it was funny.
Hey, Ron. Yeah. And you might ask him why you ain't get approved. Don't disrespect the fighter. Look at his sister.
Bro, let's talk about people. Never mind. We ain't gonna go. Nah, Mario, go ahead, Mario.
I know we ain't gonna get into Joe Joyce now. That shit is over because we looked at his sister. It's over.
No, but on the serious tip, I think Bermane.
Talking about sisters, though, man. I will segue and help you out so you won't feel like you're the only one be looking at sisters. Yo, James DeGale's sister is bad.
Oh my God. Oh my. Hey, Floyd, try to talk to her.
Bruh, everybody tried to talk to her. She was in the media workout one day in Gleason. I kept asking everybody, like, who's that? Who's that? I had no clue. That was James the girl sister. And I'm telling you, she was so bad. I was saying who that because I was going to push up. I didn't give a fuck. But then they said it was James the girl sister. I was like, way out my league.
Yes, sir.
But God damn.
Need that bag, baby.
Yeah, don't look at James the girl. Don't disrespect James the girl. Look at his sister. You know why. All right, so let's open up these phone lines. Any final thoughts on this Bermane Stirverne, Joe Joyce?
I'm just glad Al Heyman put on a card in the UK so the people can have some kind of PBC to like look at under the Gale and Eubank. And this fight may be a little bit more competitive than people think.
It's a good idea. I think it's a good idea for both parties. Like I said before, Joe Joyce gets a scalp. A name, a well-recognized scalp on his record, and if Stiverne goes against the odds and pulls it off, then it's a good look for him.
Yeah, I just think that
James the girl sister versus Joe Joyce sister. How many pay-per-view buys? You got
that's funny.
You're crazy.
I just think that Joe Joyce has more to gain from this fight. But I don't know. I really am interested at this point in like what we're going to see stylistically in the ring, but there's no way to know until we see what kind of Bermane Stiverne shows up. He's already had issues with showing up flat in fights, kind of out of shape. And so, yeah, it's definitely an issue to be concerned with.
Don't get it twisted, man. This is like a step up for Joe Joyce. I mean, this is like the most.
Oh, absolutely. I think so.
Accomplished fighter he has fought.
Look. Yo, hey Ron, can you read that Vern quote again when he's like, "Yo, this 7-0 fighter." He was dead ass serious, but I want y'all to listen good this time, so you could just.
I got it. He says, "I told my promoter Don King to get me any man on earth, and I will fight for the right to prove myself to the world." Then the phone rings. It's Don. He tells me Joe Joyce, a boxer with only 7 bouts, agrees to meet me. 7 bouts, 7 fights, and he has the audacity to box me. I have stopped Chris Areola, Ray Austin, and then the undefeated Kirsten Manswell, and a boxer with 7 fights wants to box me.
That's where I wanted to.
My nigga used audacity. Like this nigga.
Fuck did he use audacity? Undefeated Kurt Mans. Who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is that guy? Like this motherfucker said Ray Austin. I'm about to Google this dude. I bet you Ray Austin's like 56.
He said, baby, it's not the first time that I done defeated an undefeated fighter, baby. I do this for a living. You know what I'm saying? Joe Joyce trinket to my collection.
Hey, yo, I could get you to be the undefeated fighter too that you ain't never heard of, man.
Any nigga in the wheelchair can fucking get it.
March Javi says
March 15th.
Javi says Christian Hammer is 13 on BoxRec though.
What?
13 on BoxRec, no wins, and never been the world champion. I seen another weirdo say some shit in the chat talking about how we casuals because we rating Bermane over Christian Hammer. I'm like, what, man? Get your dumb ass out of here.
Hey, Christian Hammer had a WBA Intercontinental title.
Man, you get that shit you could buy at the souvenir shop out of here.
We're talking about who's more accomplished between Stiverne and Hammer. That's what we're talking about. Like nobody's saying, "Oh, who wins in a fight now?" Because we don't know. I mean, we don't know what Stiverne looks like. We don't know what he's going to do.
Who will win?
Ray Austin's. He was born in 70. Nigga.
Who will win? Chris Areola or David Price?
Right, my man, 50-something years old, man.
Areola beat the shit out of Price.
Yo, how old was this dude when he lost? Oh my God, Gerald Washington even beat this dude.
So Stiverne beat Chris Areola, quote unquote.
Yeah, Stiverne beat a fresh Areola. I remember that fight. I watched that shit. I watched that and the rematch. Look, they believed in Areola. He was a Mexican heavyweight, but the boy can never put the tacos down, man. You know what I'm saying? But HBO invested a lot of money in the Areola. Remember, they rebuilt him. He made it all the way to the top, and then I think he lost to Vlad. Then he made it all the way to the top, and he lost.
Oh, he lost to his brother.
Vitaly, okay.
Yeah.
He made it all the way to the top again and lost to the man we talking about, Bermane Stiverne, and then he didn't make it to the top by legitimacy, but he got a shot at the top on short notice because what is his name? Andres Warchick or some shit got pop tested dirty when he was supposed to fight Wilder. And yeah, so then Chris Arreola got the shot, late notice. So yeah, man.
Look,
I rank Stiverne higher, man. He doesn't have any great wins to write home about, but neither does Christian Hammer. And at least Bermane has beaten someone and won a world title. Christian Hammer, you could only say he's been in the ring and lost to Tyson Fury. And he beat David Price, but again, we just went over David Price. It's like he's Amir Khan, and he ain't even accomplished what Amir Khan accomplished in the heavyweight division. Amir accomplished way more at 140 than David Price will ever do at heavyweight, bro. David, it's over. His name is all he got right now. But I don't know. I'm trying hard to find something to give Hammer credit for, but I can't even see it.
But at the end of the day, we know what this fight is. It's a prospect trying to fight people to get to the throne. And this is a person who's trying to reclaim his career after suffering losses at the top level. So at this point, Stiverne beats Joe Joyce. That's a win. Joe Joyce expects to beat Stiverne so he can go to the next fighter. And it's just what it is. It's just proper matchmaking so that Joe Joyce has a low risk with the comparisons of beating similar opponents of other former champions. So at this point, it is what it is. It's not the most exciting fight. I would totally prefer Joe Joyce versus Ortiz. Maybe that happens later on in this year. And that would be Joe Joyce's real test if he fights any of those guys in the top 10 division. So that's it.
All right. Joe Joyce
okay
goes 12.
That now.
What's Stiverne? Is that a win for Stiverne or is that a win for Joe Joyce?
Stiverne. Yeah, that's a win for Stiverne. But it's possible, right? It was hard for Wilder to knock him out.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean,
we don't even know what version this is, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Long time a year out is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really hard to know what that accomplishes at this point because Stiverne has been tough to take out, but at the same time, he came in last time with Wilder. We saw what happened. If he comes in worse shape, then we might be saying, "Damn, I can't believe it took Joe Joyce longer than a minute to take him out." I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I don't know. I think either way, Joe Joyce got to get that W. That's the most important part.
All right, let's open up these phone lines. We got fight week. We still got a final press conference to get to. So
remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
And don't forget to check out all the interviews up on youtube.com/ThaBoxingVoice. While you're there, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, drop a comment. It helps with the visibility of the channel.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
If you want to go one step farther and support the Boxing Voice, head over to the patreon.com/theBoxingVoice. We have shows Monday through Friday. Hopefully we'll come back later on tonight with a Coming Creeping, but we probably won't since we have flagship. But tomorrow is the show that everybody likes. It's called Beating the Eyes with TBV. It's our normal betting show that we do every Friday. So come with us. Know what I'm saying? We'll figure out the best parlays or the best matches to pick.
Some money to be made this week.
It might be. But real quick,
stoppage money, I think.
Me too. I was thinking the same thing. But real quick, if you want to take it one step further, go over to theboxingvoice.com/affiliate sponsors and click on that Amazon link. Bookmark that link, save that link, and do all your shopping through that link. It costs you absolutely nothing, but we do get a little kickback every time you use that link for shopping. So use it, share it, whatever you got to do. Peace out.
On Patreon, we're at 32% and climbing. So just want to thank everyone that continues to support the movement.
How many are we away from 95,000? We need 95,000 today. Today. Last night, we
95,000 subscribers on YouTube, the main channel, youtube.com/ThaBoxing Voices, what Mike is referring to. We're at 94,925. So we need exactly 75 of you, 300 watching, to just hit that subscribe and help us accomplish the next milestone. We're going to get out to our first mastermind of the day. in Washington, D.C. Good morning, Jay Hardcore.
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
Both motherfuckers. Jay Hardcore Boxing. They don't know shit about boxing. ThaBoxingvoice.com. Okay.
Jay, what's up, man? You talking or what?
Jay Silent Core.
Yeah, I was talking, but I think y'all had me muted though.
Yeah, had yourself
I'm good,
muted.
bro, but
Ding, ding.
okay, that's. Can I talk now, Mike?
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen here, man. I enjoyed what we talked about thus far. But you know what? It's kind of funny because the boxing fans do have a sense of humor because this fucking joke, this fight today, that we're talking about is a fucking joke, man. We're talking about a 41-year-old Bermane Stirverne that got knocked out in 50 seconds in his last fight.
He took time off.
In shape for the biggest fight of his life, huh?
He took time off, and the biggest fight of his life was on short notice because Luis Ortiz failed a drug test.
Oh no, Bermane Stiverne was already training for another fight that weekend. He
wasn't training for Wilder though. He wasn't training for Wilder though.
They weren't training for Wilder, but he was supposed to be training. He shouldn't have been coming in looking like that. He had another fight that he's supposed to have been taking. Come on. Call a spade, man. This cat gonna come in exactly like he always do, man. He is not going to fight. He's coming in for
Cut it.
Going out to Javier on Skype. Mastermind, talk to me.
Alabama.
I want Joshua. Joshua, come and see me, baby. No more hiding, no more ducking, no more dodging, no more excuses.
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What's going on, Javi?
I think it's smart for Joyce to take Stiverne. Stiverne, the person he should take, man. You get your former champion on there, he gonna be talking about that for the next 3 years. I promise you. But he got to move quick anyway. He ain't young. He like 33, 34. Shit, Joyce got to move quick. Shit, Joyce older than Wilder.
But y'all sleeping on Stiverne, man. He dangerous, bro.
I ain't saying it's gonna be easy fight. I said it's a good choice. I said it's a good choice of a fight.
Yes,
he got a chance. He got a good chance of winning.
Yes.
Only thing I worry about this little short Stiverne throw that overhand and catch you.
Man.
Hey, I don't want you to go night, Joe.
Wasn't it a left hook that caught Areola?
Left hook. I don't know about that.
Hey, slow motion man can get caught with them slow hooks. That's all I'm saying. Mike, you just want to cut me off, don't you? It's hurting. You want to.
My bad. Yeah, man, brother, man, you my brother, man. We talk all the time. You my guy, but boomerang back in.
Mike cut his last 10 seconds off.
Mike terrible. Joel in Dubai.
He cut Jay off too.
Mastermind, what up?
Joel, what's up, baby?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, but I'm laughing. I'm sitting here and laughing. But man, what Steven is doing there?
He gotta find his way back. He gotta find his way back to the top. And Joe Joyce is the first man to be on the list.
Yeah, but I have to be honest. For Joe Joyce, it's a good choice, and then for Steven, I think I have to side with Nez. He's a good choice as well, because if he beats Steven, then he's on the track. But Nez, let me ask you, what up with Ortiz? Can he get anybody good?
Man, he got Christian Hammer, man. I don't like it. I know.
You know what? I'm gonna use your same word, the one you usually like to use when it's about Crawford. Tell Ortiz to tell his people to use the money they have to buy him good opponent.
No, dude, my interview with Paulie's gonna come out. I said the same thing. Paulie is disputing with me that people are ducking. Now he knows better than I do, right? He's on the inside, but I'm saying, come on, how could people still be ducking this guy? He's with Al Heyman. Al Heyman gets everybody a shot. I don't understand it either.
At least a top 10. Come on. When is the last time has he fought a top 10? Wilder. After Wilder, when was the last time? Come on.
I don't know, but we're talking about Joe Joyce, man. I mean, Stiverne is in top 10.
That's hilarious. I was looking at Steven. He's not even in.
Cut it.
We're going to Jack is the Truth. Talk to me.
What's going on, Jack? Man, back me up on Christmas Hammer.
Christian who? Christian who? Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah, man.
Avoid you now.
Christian Hammer, man. Christian Hammer.
Listen, I missed most of the show, but I heard you speaking about how heavily touted Joe Joyce is. I'm not saying he's not, and I respect his resume. I respect what he's done, but do you think that he's more heavily touted in the eyes of the US because he went over there to fight? Because from the UK perspective, he's considered a prospect, someone that has a common opponent with Dave Allen, someone that has a common opponent with Dillian White when he first started out. So we see him as like a Conor Benn, someone just rising up through the ranks. So when you talk about him like he's some serious threat to Stiverne, who has been in there with the elite, it doesn't resonate with me.
I wouldn't put Joe on the same level as Conor Benn. I think Joe is above Conor Benn. No disrespect to
doesn't he spar with Fury and stuff and AJ? Didn't
I think Joe.
Doesn't Joe Joyce have a better amateur background than
I think Joe Joyce had an amateur career. Conor Benn didn't. So I think it's a big difference, Jack. I think there's a big difference.
Okay, but what I'm saying is we don't pay a lot of attention to the what you've achieved in the amateurs. I know he's old, and I respect the fact that
cut it.
Going out to the Nolia, N.O.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
Ooh, what's good, people? Stiverne back at it again, huh? Man, it actually, to be honest with you, it's a good fight for both of them. It's really a win-win for Joe Joyce. You know what I'm saying? Stiverne, if he lose this fight, man, he gotta go retire, bro. Because Joe Joyce, he a prospect, bro. If you can't beat a prospect, man, you need to go lay your ass down somewhere. You understand? And I don't see Stiverne, be honest with you. I think Stiverne shot, man. I don't see him winning that fight, bro. Know what I'm saying? Joe Joyce gonna hit him with one of them slow-ass punches that nobody in their right mind at the top level should be getting hit with, and he'll get his ass knocked out, man. That's my call, you. I'm gonna keep it moving.
Aren't there rumors that Joe Joyce had his way with Stiverne in training camp? And and Stiverne threw him out?
What did they say?
I thought it was backwards. I thought that's why Joyce asked for the fight, because Stiverne was saying he had his ways with him.
No. The word is that Joe Joyce had his way with Stiverne, and Stiverne kicked him out of one of his training camps.
Damn, Ron just read that this morning. I must have completely missed it.
I just read the article that said that he felt disrespected that Stiverne was telling everyone that he was beating him up.
Oh yeah, so there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Raffian is no facts.
No. There's basically conflicting information on that. You know what I'm saying? There's conflicting. The story I heard was that Joe Joyce had his way with Stiverne, and Stiverne kicked him out of one of his training camps.
And maybe that's just Joe Joyce like reaffirming, like, hey, that's what happened.
Exactly.
And Bermane is now fibbing on the story.
I believe that's the case.
And I want to whoop his ass.
I just hope that Stiverne comes in shape, because he already tricked Mike once and twice, because Mike's like, oh no, hold on, y'all. Look at the way Bermane's talking. So I just hope he actually comes in shape, because if he comes in shape, in the beginning of the show, you told us to hold on, listen to the way that Bermane's talking. He might be taking this serious.
How was that trick though?
Because you think that he is still legit.
You saying based on him talking, being serious? The last
you
time
said, listen how Broder's talking.
He's ready for a fight. Yeah,
he was all up on Deontay's grill.
Mike is so hilarious with this little act that he does. But anyway, man, I lost my train of thought. You're a fucking genius with this cutting off.
He's a time stealer, man.
He picks Stiverne.
Shang Shun of time stealing.
He did pick Stiverne. I bet you you heard him. You heard
that I picked Stiverne.
I heard him. I wrote it down already.
We ain't did no
Yeah, he
way
did
in
pick
yet.
Stiverne.
Javi ready, man. Javi ready. I ain't gonna say shit, Javi. I'm be quiet.
Mike says Stiverne. All right, he already picked.
Earlier, you insinuated that you can't even bet on Stiverne.
Y'all gonna fucking tell me who I picked, bro.
He has 50 with Javi.
Let me ask you something, Mike.
He says Stiverne by stoppage.
Mike, let me ask you something. Yo, and that's what he insinuated, that he gonna bet on Stiverne by stoppage. Didn't you or didn't you?
No.
Early in the show.
Why would I bet on Stiverne?
That's what
bro?
I heard.
I just said the guy was fucking from Jamaica, but he from Haiti.
You also said how people were counting him out.
They are counting him out though, and bro,
So you ain't gonna lay a little $5 knockout
for a boxer and the heavyweight.
He's taking Christian Hammer on the parlay too.
Ain't nowhere here. I'm picking Christian Hammer.
Yo,
I thought you were going to go on the parlay.
No.
It was
Smart money.
Stiverne and Christian Hammer on the parlay.
No, I'm dropping 5 on Stiverne by KL.
Look, this is how Mike defended his argument going, I didn't pick Stiverne for knockout. I said he was Haitian.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you pick.
That's how you make money, though. You pick on you bet. That's how you make money. You bet on the underdog.
Really.
You should be a big underdog.
When you know somebody's gonna win, man, you put more money on the person who's gonna win.
I believe Joyce is gonna win, but I'm gonna put some money on Stiverne because I'll get paid more.
Stiverne got that knockout power, dog. Let me get to the callers. We got Stunner in New Jersey.
What up, Stunner?
No, man. Not much. Joe Joyce versus Bermane Stiverne. Now, here's how I see it. Now, if you remember in that Wilder Stiverne fight, the reason that Stiverne said that he was so concussed early is that he supposedly got hit in the back or side of his head or whatever be the case. Now, going into a fight with Joe Joyce, if the 2015 Bermane Stiverne that fought Wilder shows up in that ring versus Joyce, he'll KO Joyce. Joyce is too slow. But if that same one that just fought Wilder shows up in the ring, I think Joyce gonna send them home. He's gonna send them back to the U.S. on a helicopter or some shit. But let me just add this in before I hang up. So Ness, I kept telling you the last 2 weeks, and you about to see in 2 days, my boy Gerald Washington's gonna knock that fat ass nigga Konaki the fuck out. And when he does, I'm gonna call him to the show, and I'm gonna give you a breakdown.
Did you see Gerald Washington nigga yesterday? Let Ron tell you about Gerald Washington just
There was no
real
footage
quick.
to see him. How would he see him?
What did he do, Ron?
I don't care what you got to say about Gerald. Listen, I don't care what you got to say about Gerald Washington. It's already a foregone conclusion. Konaki's getting knocked the fuck out, and I'm gonna call y'all, and I'm gonna talk
My nigga Gerald Washington was shadow boxing for like 20 seconds.
Don't run. Let's bet some money.
Ooh.
What's up with it?
Ooh, send it to FanDuel.
I mean, it's your bet. You the one talking all crazy.
He calling in niggas talking that shit.
You calling in here talking how your man's gonna knock out my
How
man.
your man's gonna put him down?
You know.
GW.
Look, Ness. We could. I was gonna do it on the site because I know the payouts are gonna be like.
Yeah.
I think the payouts like for every
Yeah,
dollar.
I'm actually
for
logging
every
in.
dollar,
I'm
maybe
logging
four.
in. Hold on. Don't sweat it. I'm logging in. I'm gonna get back to you. I'm logging in to check the odds. We'll see, because I was planning on betting on that fight. We'll see. You got to catch us on Friday, man. Beating the odds with TBV Patreon only at patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. Let me see here. Yeah, we done ski. We out of here. Oh shit, Javi.
Javi and Joel both said boomerang.
Yeah, I swear, Ness. I hate you, bro. Like,
man, I love you.
Bro, you Ness don't want me on, bro.
I'm about to be roomed up with you and everything. What you talking about, bro? It's all love. It's all love.
But anyways, what else I'm gonna say? Oh, you said something about Stiverne talking greasy. Do you remember the first 2 fights with Wilder, bro? Stiverne was talking the biggest shit I ever heard. That nigga said, "I'm trying to get your body." That nigga was talking crazy to Wilder before they fought, and he damn near died. I'm just saying, but Stiverne will talk that shit and get his ass beat. So please do not buy into Stiverne shit talking.
You
Because
right.
Bird told us last fight.
Yeah, you right.
Bird told us last fight he was gonna kill Wilder. He said,
he wanted
I was dehydrated. Wilder said, I ain't never seen a heavyweight dehydrated.
That nigga wasn't dehydrated last fight, boy.
How you dehydrated at heavyweight, baby? You on purpose, nigga.
He came in with extra water weight, nigga, last fight.
Boy, that nigga was buoyant. He was buoyant out there against Wilder. That motherfucker came in like a whale. Got his ass snapped. Hey, all I'm saying, don't listen to Sister Ryan shit talk.
Hey, shout out to
whacked after some shit talk.
Shout out to motherfucking Shield Killer. That was a good one, homie.
Hey,
Oh, they trying to play my man.
Who?
Oh, they trying to play him.
Who?
Who, Kowanaki?
Yeah, they trying to play him.
Where they got him at?
Yeah, they trying to play. I ain't.
What they got him at, homie? What they got him at, Ness? What they got him at, Ness? Plus 100?
Patreon only. Yo, you done? Matter of fact, you been finished. No. Oh, they trying to. I wish it was Friday right now. No, he been done. It was one.
They don't get no respect, boy.
Joel.
He got more than a minute and 30, and we got to go to.
I mean, don't get no respect. Now
you ain't playing Javier.
You disrespect the Javier.
Yeah, you know what you do from now on, since this dude wanna start problems. Call.
That nigga took your money last weekend, Javier, then he cut you off.
Hey Javier, if you plug in your earphones, you can still use your phone while you.
Nigga Javier sitting out bed.
Watch, and you see that I use a clock, unlike Mike, who just hit. We going to Joel.
Cut it.
Yeah. I would like to. What is the perception of the PBC deals? I mean, the PBC cards in the UK side. Does Rafi is there? Rafi.
Man,
yeah, I'm here.
What's the perception
of the PBC coming to UK?
That PBC pay-per-view, James DeGale and all them cards. Because I'm seeing like Deontay Wilder brothers gonna be there. I mean, like, what is the point?
What's the point of them coming to UK?
What is the point for him? Like, he's a prospect. It's just a beginning. What is the point for him to fight in the UK? He has to build himself in the USA.
Wilder's brother?
Yeah.
Why is he coming to the UK? He's just spreading his name. I would imagine he's spreading his name. You know, I mean, he wants to come up. He wants to come up. So basically, he's not just going to fight in the US. I think it's smart that he comes over to the UK too. Likewise, I think it's smart that Joyce comes over, doesn't exclusively fight over in the US anymore. He comes over to the UK. The US pay-per-view model, I believe, is failing. Yeah. Pacquiao. Sorry, don't let me take up your call. Carry on.
Yeah. Do you think with the stock that PBC has right now in the UK, talking about the UK, can they compete with Mushroom stock and Queensberry?
Well, they have to try. They have to try. I think the USA pay-per-view model is now a failing model. We've just recently seen Pacquiao versus Broner. They did something like 400,000 PPV buys. That would equate in the UK to say 1.2 million. Now we look at the allegation that something like AJ versus Wilder would be bigger in the US. But what Pacquiao Broner shows us is that really the expectation would only be like about between 400,000 and 500,000.
Nah,
now,
brother.
if we get wait, now 400,000. No, wait.
If you got
now,
heavyweights, man, it's a whole.
It's different. No, hold on. Let me finish and then you rebut.
Okay.
Now, if it's the case, which I believe it to be the case, that the pay-per-view the reality of pay-per-view over in the US is failing, and the reality is that Joshua versus Wilder is between 400,000 and 500,000, then the reality is that even though in the UK model the price is 3 times cheaper, the reality is if that fight Wilder AJ does 1.5 million in the UK, it will be equivalent to whatever they would make over in the US for 500,000.
Only on
500,000.
Listen, in your analogy, only on pay-per-views. You're forgetting the fact that our seats cost more. Everything costs more. The gates are always higher. We hold the gates. AJ holds these grand spectacle and never in his life has broken the record for a gate because you can't hold it over there. And it's not about you versus us, Rafi. It's about these fighters because they're the ones wanting 50 million. So they can't come up with that in the UK. Let's stop making it about, oh, that fight belongs in the UK or the US. It belongs wherever they could pay. I wish it was in Zaire, so I go to Zaire for the first time in my life. Let it be in China, so I go to China the first time in my life. It don't matter what country. It matters the amount of money that it's going to generate so that both fighters are happy because that's the main sticking point, the money. It was the sticking point from the beginning. It's going to be the sticking point till the end. And for you to say that Anthony Joshua and Wilder and the combination of that fight is on the level of Manny Pacquiao and Broner just shows your boxing IQ. But we have
absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Broner v. Pacquiao has shown us the way. Have shown us the reality of what the paper over there.
So you asked us not to interrupt you. You talked.
Okay, carry on.
I spoke.
Carry on.
You interrupted this caller.
Carry on.
That's why you got to make sure that your argument is good. So when it's my turn, I don't sound better than you, and it doesn't force you to do what you just did.
And also, man, you got to realize
you're showing that you know your argument was failing. That's why you did a second time. Second shot. You want
to sound.
Also, you got to realize, man, people in the U.S. actually know about the big heavyweight fight. Joshua and Wilder. They didn't know about Wilder and Fury. Fury wasn't that guy, you know what I'm saying? He just came back.
No build up to Manny Pacquiao, Broner, Mike.
I know there's no build up and
there was no storyline. No one ever asked for that. We're dying for this. The fact that he's trying to compare the two shows that he's an AJ protector who is very afraid of the truth. But
Wilder versus Fury did a worldwide
one
tour.
last thing real quick. There will be a bidding one last thing. There will be a bidding war for that site fee in Vegas.
The Wilder versus Fury was a worldwide tour.
To this day, to this day. Take a moment if you know the words. Come on.
To this day.
Coyote, what up?
Yo. You guys hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Good stuff. All right, we're talking Bermane Stiverne and Joe Joyce. I think Joe Joyce wins the fight. I agree with what Ralphie said. I think it was last year when in the training camp for Wilder fight, Joe Joyce was one of the people brought in, and he beat him up so badly he threw him out of the camp. So I don't really see him standing a chance. Whatever shape he comes out, I think he's done. But that's it. I don't want to talk about Wilder and Fury and AJ. It's just getting boring. I just want to see the fight. It's just, yeah, man, that's my call, really.
Mike, they asked you a question, Mike.
I did. I ain't hear. I thought he said that's my call.
I thought he said Mike.
Yeah, he ain't asked me shit.
Oh shit. We'll see. He'll text me. Excuse me.
Popping all this champagne, popping all this rose, getting money like Jose, chain cold, Norway. Shorty wants that full play. I'm like, no way. Gotta rock like Coldplay, killing it.
How is training camp going for the WBC champion of TBV?
Thank you, Mike. That's always a wonderful introduction I get from you, my friend. You know what?
I'll answer that as the promoter of the biggest card of 2019. I'll answer that. I was able to finagle some celebrity sparring for Jose so that, he could increase his name value. So we had him do a few rounds of celebrity sparring with the celebrity rock star, Robert Ortiz of Escape the Faith. And we have a few rounds of that sparring on Patreon only.
Okay.
Out the WBC champ, flexing his muscles in what I believe. I mean, unfortunately, it is going down. The sparring session is going down as a controversial session. I have Jose winning. I have him winning that round. Others are split. So
because he's a rock star, okay, of course.
I know, and that's what I think it is. They're like, oh, I can't go against the guy who's a celebrity. I want to hang out with the celebrity. I don't want to piss the celebrity off, but I'm an honest guy. I think that the normal, everyday Canadian was able to get the better hand on the bigger, longer, and like we said, more popular guy.
So hold on. Let me ask you, the promoter.
Yeah.
Are you confident in your guy Jose coming up this March?
I have no dogs in this fight. I'm simply the promoter. This is an in-house fight. This is an in-house fight. Eric Cruz.
It ain't hurting over here.
Eric Cruz is my guy, and so is Jose. They're both champions in TBV, so they're going to unify. Unlike, AJ and Wilder, these two are going to unify. And, look, I've told Cruz since his first fight at Border Wars, Jose will beat him. The issue is, can Jose do what he's supposed to do? I'll give you this. Jose is TBV's very own Adrian Broner. He talks a good game. He can promote the fight. He's won a belt or two, but he kicks his mouthpiece around. He calls everyone out, doesn't really fight them. Contracts fall apart. All the shenanigans, pictures with girls, Snapchat videos with hearts. I mean, what male does that? He does that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jose.
TBV's very own Adrian Broner. But let me bring him on.
Yo, AB, baby, AB. AB at 135. That's what it is. You know what? I'll just quickly talk about that, man. I was also sparring a guy who was like 6'3", 200 pounds. This guy works out for a living, right? Because his job is to be aesthetically perfect, right? So you can see what I did, man. I almost knocked him out to a different planet. But anyway, as per the AJ Wilder, I agree a little bit with Rafi, man. I don't know if this is going to do pay-per-view numbers. And it's going to be a risk because they're going to have to put it everywhere to get interest, right? They're going to have to buy, advertising dollars and put it all over the place. Now, that could help because, you could sell this story big time in the States. You have an American heavyweight, undefeated, great story. You have the redemption story of the UK fighter. It could work, but it's a risk, man. It's a huge risk. And I think the rematch would do better than the initial fight, to be honest. But,
we're gonna find out a lot from the numbers after Fury versus Wilder rematch.
And the thing is, really quickly before my bell goes too, is that it's got to happen. Like if it happens this year, there's not a whole lot of time for the American public to be exposed to Anthony Joshua. Let's keep it real, Rafi. I know he's a hero of your country, but nobody knows who he is here, man.
I agree. I understand that. That's why I'm saying it's not going to be that much. It's going to be comparable. The money's going to be comparable.
We have breaking news. AJ will be fighting Dillian White April 13th at Wembley Stadium. AJ will be fighting Dillian White April 13th at Wembley. Look here, man. Dillian White.
Can you see the
I'm
source?
picking Dillian.
Who's the source? Because
Mike-
I don't see that even in the chat. Where you getting this from? You
Mike,
read Texas.
what is the source?
Yo, hey Jose, we're gonna get to get to some other calls.
Hey, Mike just ruined your, just ended your call to yell out some shit.
These two guys cut everybody off between Rafi and Mike, boy. They
breaking news, but I don't see this.
cut off. Hey, hardcore, what up?
Yo, you need to change it. Yo. You need to change Mike intro to cut it.
Oh man.
I'm gonna tell you what would make Joshua and Wilder huge. If Joshua came over here, fought Miller, knocked Miller out, and said I will fuck up anybody else that's in the heavyweight division in the U.S., that would make it huge. Other than that, man, I think it'd just be, a million views. That's about it. That's my call.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Big homie, talk to me.
Hey, top of the morning, homies.
What up?
Top of the morning. What up? Hey, I caught you guys on the back end. What's up with this dude Stiverne, he's back from the dead or what?
Yeah, he's gonna be
Looks
facing
that way.
Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce.
So it's official.
It is official. UK pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
But he's the
what's date
undercard.
on
He's the
it?
undercard.
Well, he's a co-main event, right?
Oh, okay. What's up?
I think he's the co-main event, is what I read.
I've read both, undercard and co-main event.
When the last time Stiverne boxed? Like when the last time he had a fight?
Since
Against Wilder.
Box your boy Wilder. Box your boy Wilder.
2017.
Damn. That's his last fight?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay. For sure. All right. Good looking out.
All right, big homie. Thanks for calling in. NO, talk to me. NO.
Look, check this out, bro. Y'all got me?
Yep.
What's good? Check this out, Ness.
You.
See, bro, we don't need to be comparing this fight to Braun the Pacquiao. Pacquiao, he on the decline in his career. Braun have been beat about 5 times damn near on the big stage. Ain't no way that fight gonna compare to 2 young heavyweights in their prime, bro, that's undefeated. Let's get that out the way right there. The fight in the U.S., that's the fight everybody asking for. Whenever any of these dudes do interviews, what question we know gonna be asked? When you gonna fight Wilder and Joshua? You know what I'm saying? And Wilder, when you gonna fight Josh? That's the fight everybody. It's been proven that if you give the fans the fight that they want, man, it's gonna produce numbers. You know what I'm saying? And now you can try to rebuttal me and come with another fight like Ward or Kovalev. Ain't nobody asked for that fight. It happened. It was a good fight. Nobody asked for Ward Kovalev. Nobody asked for, you know what I'm saying, these other fights that didn't too well.
Are they asking for the rematch, the Wilder Fury rematch? Are they asking for that?
They're not asking for it, but it was a damn good fight, and it's gonna sell more than the first. You know what I'm saying?
Cut it.
Suleiman the Scholar.
Hey, how you doing, Ness?
What up?
How you doing, Ness? So I think it's a good fight, man. It's a good fight. The guy only got 7 fights. He got a couple of titles, regional titles, and he's gonna fight an ex-world champion, man. And it'll give you a chance for Bermane Stirverne to rebound from those 2 losses to Deontay Wilder. We got to see how much he still got left in the tank. If he got a good training camp, I'll be a good 3-month training camp, you know, and he gets himself in good shape and sharp, and he might get a good fight, man. You know what I'm saying? And we still don't know how the chin of Joe Joyce is. You know, can he take a punch from Bermane Stiverne? Bermane Stiverne used to have a lot of pop in his hands back in the day. So if he lands a good shot, we want to see it's a good barrel fight. We want to see if he has the world-class chin with that world-class power, and can he mix it up too? Like these 2 guys are kind of lethargic. Him and Danny the Boss, they're kind of lethargic in there. Can they mix it up that power with some good boxing? And it's going to be a good fight. Thank you for having me on, and have a great day.
Suleiman, thank you for calling in. Gabe, Salt Lake City, talk to me. Sorry about that. That ain't for you.
That's all right. Yo, the way Mike's talking about Stiverne, man, it sounds the same way he was talking about Broner. You know? He's talking Stiverne up like
hey man, somebody got a big D fighters up, man. Everybody can't knock him down.
Hey.
Yeah, Mike said he's taking all bets.
Whoa, Ron.
Oh, Mike, I'll bet you.
Nice shit. The hell you will.
Yo, when Stiverne gets beat up by the juggernaut, you know, because Stiverne is as slow as molasses, and Joe Joyce's nickname is the Juggernaut. So, you know, you could just picture how that's going to end up. Mike's going to be like, I never told anybody about Stiverne. I was always going for Joe Joyce. But hey, that's my call. Go support TBV, the hardest working podcast in the game, man. Go support.
Gabe, thanks for calling in. That's another one. We're going to wrap it up, but don't fret. We'll be back. We got some breaking news, not the lies Mike over here spewing on air. but some other breaking news in the heavyweight division. So stick around. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/ThaBoxingvoice. In the last couple of minutes that we were live, we've gained a total of 3 subscribers. Yeah, so we're now at 94,928. So hopefully you help us get to that 95,000 before the day is out. Me and Ron will be at New York City for the final press conference. I don't know. I'm looking outside in this rainstorm. I'm like, maybe Ron should go alone, but I don't know.
Solo dolo.
What time do it start?
2.
At 4. 2. But it's actually pretty cool because it's right there in the Barclays. So I know a little.
The same spot it was up for the top.
Yeah, Atrium. Yeah. Right where you were at.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you guys. I got a false fax from my anonymous source that will rename anonymous. My bad. I retract that statement. Should have happened sometime. You get overly excited and you don't read text messages.
Yo, you jumped all over that guy.
I know, right? That was
hilarious.
Worth it, though. Look how excited he. So that means he really wants that fight, little bro.
I mean, yeah, I would love that fight.
I would love that fight.
I would love him to fight White and Wilder to fight Fury and the Big Baby to fight. Who knows?
I would love that fight.
Mike just threw it out there. He wants that fight so bad.
CTO Instagram. Peace. What's up, y'all?
Gross1911 IG, Gross2312 on Twitter.
Ron GFIQ.
Go again, Ron.
Ron GFIQ. Go.
At Maureen Munguia on Twitter and Instagram.
Coach Raf. Coach_Raf on Instagram.
Let's go! I'm ready.
Mike was ready.